So good afternoon / evening, folks. I'm just heading for 5 o'clock now, and we're about to get into some semi-finals. Des Wilcox versus Simon Singleton. Currently nothing much is happening at the moment, but the table has just been ironed thanks to tournament controller Mike Hayes. So we've got a lovely fresh bed to play on. Des Wilcox, of course, is the current Superleague champion of New Zealand. Simon Singleton was the man who had won it the year before that, i.e. 2021. So both of these players champions, and both of these players have also played in the Pocket Series as well. So they've both got a wealth of experience playing these particular rules, well, as much as you can have when you're playing from New Zealand, but luckily that's all changing. The other semi-final, which is not being streamed, is Adam Shaw versus Adam Lilly. So that, remember to jump onto Q-Score if you want to follow the progress of that game. Although I'm sure if you know a mate who's is watching this, you can always flick them a message and ask for what the score is. So Simon at the moment, well, what he was doing before, he was just polishing all the colours up, just to try and make the playing field as fair as possible. Want to minimise the chance of getting any kicks. Also the battle of the glove men too. I mean, both of these players wear a glove. Simon's is the bluish purple coloured glove. Des wears the black glove. So in case you don't know who's at the table, because they're both wearing their Pockets Pro Series shirts, if you see a purple coloured glove, it's Simon, and a black Q. And Des is using a snooker / 8-ball Q and wearing a black glove. So they're just about to lag for the break. So Des has won the lag, so he will break. Des, as many of you will know, has recently relocated from New Plymouth to Christchurch. This, I believe, is his third day actually living in Christchurch. And he and Chrissy drove all the way from New Plymouth to Christchurch over a 2-day period. And their kids actually would have just gotten in just recently from New Plymouth. What a monster break that is. What is it, 5 off the break? Wow. And it could very well be a case of water everywhere, but not a drop to drink, because of where the cue balls ended up. I don't think I've ever seen so many balls down off a break in this format. If you call yellow in this situation and play onto the red over the pocket and pot the yellow as well as the red, then you're on yellows. But if you call yellow, pot the red and don't pot the yellow, then it's still an open table. So that's what Des will be thinking about here. I don't think the plant's not actually on, but the carom for the plant is on, so I reckon he'll try and carom this. And he's hit it too thin, so whilst it was a massive break, unfortunately he's going to be watching Simon probably mopping these up. So open table, so Simon can elect to take reds if he wants to. Well, you'd imagine you'd want to. There's only 3 of them on the table and a good starter. But what he's looking at now is how he's going to map this finish out, because you've got so few balls on the table and you've got balls around them, then you want to figure out a plan straight away, so you're not kind of ming and haing over how you're going to get this done. Simon going coast to coast here with this, so just play this in slowly. You want that to stop. Don't believe the black goes in the middle pocket. If it does go in the middle pocket, then that'll probably be the one that he goes for. As I said, the way he's played around the angles would even suggest for me that this is on in the middle pocket. And because he only had a partial pocket to aim at, he made sure he got the cue ball nice and close to the black, so he wasn't having any nasty angles or any length to play from, which made the shot harder. So there's just a tip for all of you players. If you do have a shot like that where you don't have a full pocket, especially on the black for example, if you can get yourself nice and close to that ball, then you give yourself the best possible shot at it, because you don't have a full pocket to aim for. So Simon Singleton, amongst all of that, takes the first frame. And obviously to have the skill to be able to get that cue ball nice and close to the black is something that obviously Simon does possess. And if you can get yourself a shot on that ball, then that's fine, but of course overextending then makes it more risky in terms of missing the pot and so on. So Simon about to break. And so we go from a break where 5 balls were potted to a break where nothing goes down. Ah, the vagaries of this sport. This time there is a fair amount more water to drink for Des here. As long as he hits this red first, he'll be fine. And this he does, so hits it, pots it, he's on them. Geez, tell you what, they just kept going. I think it's pulled up short, which is okay. And he can just be off angle for this ball and to the corner pocket here. That's a rough angle he wants to be on. He doesn't want to be straight on this. He wants to be just off angle, I believe, so he can follow through on it. That's pretty good. If he can squeeze that cue ball in between the 2 yellows there, the yellow that's next to the one that's over the middle pocket and the yellow just southeast of it, which he couldn't do otherwise, he probably would have done it that way. So instead looking to play the red next to the yellow last, and giving himself a decent angle to do so here. Wouldn't be surprised if he deliberately plays to run into the yellow on the rail. Oh, I think that's what he did play for, but he just got into it too much, and that is an ugly looking snooker. If he can still get a good piece of this, he's a chance, but in fact he's got nowhere near it, so ball in hand to Simon. Looking immediately to see whether that yellow on the rail near the jaw of the pocket does go in off that yellow that's near the pocket. I don't believe it does. Now, he can elect to play for a snookers here and promote that yellow that's just off the jaw. Because the rest of them are not too bad. The rest of them lie quite well. So either way he decides to play this is up to him. Play it for a snooker and then get a better shot at the clearance. He's given Des a slightly better snooker out here than he would have liked to. This is a one cushion escape. If he'd gotten in closer to those balls, Des quite close to potting that. But if he'd gotten in nice and closer to those balls, then Des would have had to play multiple rails to get out. But all was well. Didn't really want to kiss that other yellow near that cluster, but in saying that, that might have actually given him a wee chance at perhaps moving those three yellows. If he can play the one that's just away from those three and get a flick off one of those other two and go in off that way, then he perhaps moves the yellows so that they can be potable. But alternatively, that was the other way to do it. If the shot wasn't on or it was too risky, then the snooker's always there. What's he doing here? Is he going to go for a wee swerve? He needs this to bite reasonably early. Well, I think he was trying to swerve into the rail, actually. He was trying to swerve into the rail just before that yellow, and then the angle it came off the rail would have been enough to hit the red. So even though that looks like he's fouled deliberately, he was actually trying to play a genuine shot. It looked arcane to most, but if you were to watch it back and see the hand movement that he made after he played the shot, then you'll see actually what he was trying to do. So the topmost yellow of this pack does go, and without hitting any of the other yellows too, which was important, because now he's got a few of them that he can play. He can elect to play a plant, which I'm not too sure is really the option with the cue ball where it is. And get it out here. This is a much better angle for the shot. It's not quite dead on, but it's close enough so that the yellow that he will hit will end up somewhere close to the pocket still. It's just going to be a case of controlling that ball and the cue ball. Oh, he doesn't want that going on the rail. Oh, tell you what. If he'd gotten more of a screw on that, then that would have been fine, because he would have been able to play a better shot on this yellow that he's closest to. But as it is, he's going to have to fight the angles here. He's kind of left himself in a tricky spot here. There is also a double he can play, and that yellow he's just placed near that pocket makes the double slightly easier. I wonder if he'll have a full go at that, because that also gives himself a chance at, if not a snooker, a tough shot for Des. Oh, that's a fantastic shot. Again, not easy on these tables, but he made it look so. And again, you see the distance he left too, as well as the position was the natural distance, but he didn't need to play the double to achieve it. He was good enough to cut it in. That's a wonderful finish. He actually mucked it up slightly, but recovered so well. Just the way that he banged his hand on the table was just to say to himself, look, don't make it so difficult for yourself. You might have made the finish this time, but next time around could be different. So whilst he got the W on the board there, he's still mindful of the fact that you need to continue to make this game easier for yourself. Now, you see how these balls are racked, how the J is red? Obviously, you must be allowed to do that. Look at, she's millions killed again. Look at that break. But I wasn't actually aware you could rack them so that the J is red. Obviously then all the rest of the balls would be switched around. That's...
No, I'm just asking for you guys. It makes no difference to the rest of us.
Sorry?
I can turn it off if you guys want it off, otherwise I can leave it on, just let you know.
No, it's alright for me.
Cool, sounds good.
Cheers. Yeah, Des unfortunately, without trying to, mind you, put himself into a bad spot because he left that yellow ugly, the one that's on the right hand side of the table. Oops. Well, he's just gotten that all wrong. He actually wanted the cue ball, you can see where he was touching on the rail, he wanted the cue ball to bust through that yellow, hit the, almost in the jaw there, the left hand jaw, then over to where the right hand jaw was and spit back out. But he actually caught too much of the ball and it ended up hitting too full and going straight in. He's at a slight loss at what to do here, is Des. You can see him just shaking his head. He needs to get that head in the game very, very quickly here, because otherwise he's going to find himself a number of frames behind. If he can extract this yellow, he'll be much the better for it. And manage that, but this is not an overly easy shot. Now, it looks fine on the screen, but the angle is such that he has to jack up on it like this. And those are shots that are always fought with possibilities of missing the pot. Would have rather to not hit the yellow, but that's okay. If he's straight enough on this red that he's closest to, he could play the extraction. Otherwise, just work the angles back for it. He might even be looking for a snooker here, just left-hand side of the red and behind the black. Didn't quite get behind it. Now, Des can't pot this yellow next to the black spot. It's just whether he can see any of it. Otherwise he's going to have to come off a rail or two. He's looking to kill that red and he's done a reasonable job of it. So just watching the Women's Pockets Pro Series at the same time. Jojo Coleman currently 3-1 down against Geordie Rose. Now, that game is being live streamed, by the way, so if you've got a Pocket Sports subscription and you wish to multi-screen, you can do so.
Of course, if you can't multi-stream, we prefer you to watch us, but...
Yeah. Oh, that's a fantastic shot. What a play. He loses his turn, yeah, but that's a brilliant little about face there. That took some serious cojones to play. So Simon could play for a snooker if he wants to. If he hits this foolish ball and put the red down the other end of the table just for a bit of extra. Des can see most of this yellow now. If he can see enough of it to put it in front of that red, then I'm guessing that's the way he'll play. If he can't, then obviously that's a completely different kettle of fish. He's trying to kill the red there with the carom off the yellow that was near the rail. I suspect he hasn't quite gotten close enough though, because if Simon can see this, he may very well play it now. Yes, you see he's just getting his extension out, so that tells me he's going to play this ball now. Yes, we're still watching. It's okay. If he can pot both of these balls though, remember you can put your ball onto your opponent's ball, and if you pot your ball as well, it's still your shot. So that is a possibility on this angle. Oh, he tried to pot them both. Or sorry, both reds. He nearly did it, but that's still worked out really well for him. Simon can't pot the red that's at the same end of the table, so he may very well have to take the fine snick on the red into the middle, which is a nasty shot, having to bridge over that yellow there. So Des has played an outstanding shot. He didn't get part B of what he was trying to do, but part A was more than good enough. Jojo Coleman just got a frame back against Geordie Rose, so it's now 3-2 to Geordie. I can't see, yeah. Just remember that those games are also timed, so like these games are timed too, but I don't think we're going to run into any time problems. Oh, shot Des. Simon trying to leave Des as tough a shot as he could, but Des has managed to rise above for now. Not much angle though on this yellow. He's a bit straighter than he would have liked, so he's going to leave himself quite a long sort of black. He may very well play to just put it over the bin and let Simon sweat on it. That's one option. The other one is just to go for it. Try to manipulate this angle as best you can if you have one. If you're slightly off angle and you can pop out either off the rail or away from the rail and get closer to the black. And that's what he tried to do, and it's just gone all sorts of awry for him. It was a bit desperate, wasn't it, unfortunately? Simon did an excellent job of extracting that black. The black was quite tough where it was, but Simon's now made it much easier for himself. And out comes the extension now. And back and across nicely for the black. Down she goes. So 3-0 now, Simon Singleton leads. Yeah, just for Desi there, it looks so great if you finish those. But obviously I'm not as good a player as he is, and I never will be. But I do wonder if perhaps he's missed a trick by not playing the safer option. Obviously when you're in that mode and you've just won yourself a chance to win the frame, and even if conditions aren't quite there, you still want to bend them to your will. Tried to do that there and it just didn't work for him. So I just wonder if next time he's in a similar situation he may play the safer shot. But I mean, you never know until you get there, do you? Oh. So Jojo Coleman unfortunately has gone down 4 frame. It's actually 4-2 to Geordie Rose. Tough lines, Joe. And again, it's a dry break. So, I mean, Desi not exactly running out of chances here because there's still a lot of pool to be played, but this is a massive opportunity now. Look at the way the table lies. If he can get a good ball down here, get a clearance. So there's your first step. It's a good wee bump out as well. Yellow next to the red's a pain, but if he can get to that yellow closer to that bottom left pocket, then that makes that tough yellow on. I think he was playing for that position there, but he just lost the pot. And Simon's got a similar conundrum here with the red in that duo there. He's at the table now. He's got the red beneath the black spot that how's he missed that? Dear oh dear, I'm talking about the future and the present hasn't even arrived. Suspect he said something to someone because he heard some laughter. He rushed that. I'm dead sure he rushed it. Well, this is a perfect angle for Des. Boy. Oh, he's going to play the plant. Okay. Okay. Get in. Yeah, well done. Well done. You just feel you're about to chew him out if he misses it, but no, all is well. There was obviously a reason for the shot if he didn't get it. So just working on seeing if we can convey the information that this is a semi-final. Unfortunately, that bottom line of text that you can see doesn't allow us to put that in there, past obviously the synopsis. But just whilst I'm here as well, and we've got a wee hiatus in proceedings, I would like to thank each and every one of the sponsors that have made this possible. Obviously you've got On Cue Street, still 1-0 at the moment in the Pockets Ladies series. Colby Poole over Camellia Cook. Breaks have been very, very different between these two players. I don't think Des has had a single dry break in this match, whereas Simon's had multiples. This would certainly not be the time to be doing that again, and it's not. I tell you what, the yellows have actually come up nicely. There is a cluster of balls near the black, but they actually resolved themselves just at the end. So yellows, I would say, would be the better set here. And you've several reds that are on too, and if you can get into those two reds that are in that cluster, then you're good to go. I mean, either set really, if you want it. It is indeed yellows. And it'll be because of those two next to the black, the fact that they're easier to play than the two reds. So the two reds actually require one to be played first, whereas the yellows aren't in each other's way, and they're easier to actually position for individually. I might just use the black here just to check himself. Now, possibly the one on the left. See, this is where you put your thinking cap on again, because you've got two roads. There's indeed the one on the left, and I'm not too sure if he wanted the half ball sort of angle, but it does allow him to run reasonably full into the red, or alternatively the more angle allows him to do what he's just done there. I actually didn't realise he had that shot available to him. I thought he was having to use the red, but in fact the thin angle allowed him to miss it completely. So just off angle here on this yellow and bulk, so again your speed becomes important. Get up! Oh, yuck! Your speed becomes important. So does your line. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, look how much he hates it too. There was a chance to get on the hill right then and there, and you suspect unless he comes up with a magic shot, he's just blowing it. Oh, Desi, he'll be like... If he's religious, he'll be praying right now that he gets a good shot. Hold all tickets. No, we're not paying tonight. Yeah, this one's got to be you, Des. Those two reds close to the black spot. If that bottom one goes, you take it. Alternatively, and I like this, I like what he's done. He's taken the emotional out of it and just played a sensible shot there. Recognised that he had a hard red early and elected to bump it out into space and play for the snooker. So chances are, and big chances are, he's going to get another shot here, and what's more, he's going to have the balls open for a finish, which wasn't really possible where he was before. That is what I said, Grant. Oh, he's come up dry, so ball in hand to Des, so you got to give Des a fair bit of credit for that. Now just looking to see how he maps this out. probably take the one into the bottom left now and just screw back out. The ideal situation here would be to leave the one bottom right for last. That would be the ideal way to do it. He's still well on track for that. Just needs to weight this nicely. And he has, so he needs to watch the yellow here. He may very well run around it, run around behind to the right of it. No, he's gone to the left and he's done it well. Just a stun. Yep. Now this is for the first frame on the board for Des. And that will feel like a massive relief. Long way to go, but you've taken your first step. 5-1 Simon Singleton. You did right, Grant. Colby Poole 2-0 ahead. There you go, see what else is happening around. Adam Lilly's now opened up a 4-1 lead over Adam Shaw. Wow. Wow, what a break. Omanua, teach me. Jeez, he doesn't half hit them, does he? And at the same time, it all looks like timing. It's like he timed the pants and the underwear off it. The ball's absolutely spread to Jerusalem and back. And more often than not, he gets one too. I don't think he's had a dry break in this match. How's he going to work this red that's in between the two yellows? That's what he's looking at now. Needs to take that early if he can. That's a better angle. Doesn't need to run into these. Even if he gets a touch on the black and just moves it away, then that will give him the shot on that hard red. Just needs to watch if he's going to do that he doesn't get a massive nit full of it and end up behind it. Alternatively, the red on the left hand side of the table away from the pocket is on, but the problem with that is that your prospects for position aren't that great, so this is the better option for me. Click. Yeah, just like that. Well played. Yeah, so if he'd gotten a massive piece of that, he would have ended up well and truly stuck behind it, but just a bump's all he needed. And that's a better angle. He just needs to watch the yellow when he plays this. Yeah, well done. Avoided the yellow and got the thinnest nick he could on that red to keep it nice and close to the pocket. Black looks like it does go between those yellows into the corner, so it needs to come out with a touch of bottom left. That's a bit much, but I think he'll take that. Maybe that was what he was trying to do, though. Every chance, because of the potential that you'll snooker yourself. That go that way. Ouch. Wait. No. Well, that's... Again, he worked himself beautifully into a position where he can win a frame and really put some pressure, take some pressure off, but that inability to execute at the tail end of a frame could well cost him. Camellia Cook's just grabbed a frame back against Colby Poole, so Colby at the moment leads Camellia 2-1. This is your Pockets Ladies series. Deep screw by the look of it, or maybe not so deep. I thought for a moment he was going to play a bit bigger screw back than that, but controlled it well. It's something that he's done better than pretty much everyone else I've actually seen this weekend, is playing those shots down the rail. He's been excellent at it. How's the rub? It's alright. Still on that yellow for the middle. Of interest is whether that middle yellow goes of the three. Whoa, whoa, pull up, pull up. Okay. Yeah, you're heading into snooker territory pretty much here. Don't think he'll go for this. Nah, no chance. Well played. So only one of those yellows is now on, but that's not the main thing here. The main thing is that he takes away that one cushion escape, because the one cushion escape's too easy there. You get a good cushion, then you pot that black and it's thanks very much. But they're having to go multiple rails here. It brings all sorts into play, and the probability of him potting this is quite low. He's going to go top rail, left rail here. Oh no. Oh, lovely shot. Lovely shot. Didn't pot it, but still deserves a round of applause. Don't want to go to the toilet, man. It's too good.
You're trying to get to the end of the frame.
I'm trying to get to the end of the match. Just wonder whether that's not an option. So Simon could do the same thing here. Just leave Des in between the two yellows closest to the rail. If he can get right in there, if he's looking for a snooker, if he can get right in there, then that really is nasty to get out of. Alternatively, he can do what he has done and then play a snooker. I reckon he'll try and play the one closer to the pocket of the two. No, he's going for it. Missed it, but because of where the black is, the fact that the black is further down the rail, I don't actually think this is potable, at least not conventionally. You do ask the question here, with the yellow being in the black's half of the table now, that kind of takes the safety away. So Des either has to have a big old mo at this, or he's got to play a really good safety, and the really good safety is very difficult here, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes off the left rail first and tries to pot this. Oh, he had a go. Oh, yuck. Oh, yuck. Unlucky, great effort. Simon will almost be feeling sorry for him there, but I don't think as sorry as to let him have another shot. Geez, that's heart-wrenching, isn't it? It really is. If you're Des Wilcox. Simon Singleton, however, is in the mood to take no prisoners. gets to the hill 6-1. Grant will tell me. Yeah, just one of those, isn't it? All you have to do is shake your head, really. And that once again was a frame that Des was well in control of, well within his ability to finish it off under normal circumstances. And had that been last year in the Nationals, then that would not have even been a question. At this stage of the tournament, he was absolutely humming. 3-1 at the moment in the ladies to Colby Poole over Camellia Cook. Simon here to break, hopefully for the last time, for him anyway. Ball off the break. I don't see a ball off the break. As well as he hit those, it's one thing that Desi's got that he hasn't got. There you go, first step again. Good evening, Ryan. Your mate's in a bit of bother at the moment. Doing his best to get himself out of the jam that he and Simon have stuck him in.
It looks like you'll still have a mate in the final in Adam.
Adam Lilly, though, you're looking at the other game. Laser beam break from Des. Over here to study at Canterbury University. That red's just nasty. Looking at it, staring daggers at it, in fact. The one that's blocked by the yellow, bottom right of your screen. It's like it wants to... It's like it's just killed his family and he's just giving it a death stare. If he can slide in between those two balls for position, that'd be great, but that will have to wait. Alternatively, it's the ball over the pocket that could be his avenue. If he can get himself just off straight on that ball over the middle pocket in 1 or 2 balls time, you'd prefer 1 ball time, you'd prefer it off this shot. Not going to happen there. And he's got opportunities to play it. Don't think he can cut that thin enough for that to happen from here, so he's going to need to widen his angle ever so slightly for the extraction to be on. See, this is better. Probably into the yellow he'll look for here. Oh, if he's got the room, I tell you what, it looks pretty good from here. It's got more room than I thought, you know. Shot doesn't look on, but it will be if he puts a heap of right on it. Puts a bit of right on this, he can actually kick it in. Small cue ball actually makes this shot easier than with the standard 2-inch. He just needs to control it better. Oh, yuck, that's chunky monkeys. See Simon looking to if that yellow on the rail or near the rail is actually on the rail, because it gives you an insight as to what shot he's likely to play. But he's got several other options for snooker if he doesn't like to go for a finish now. Looks like he's going to go yellow in bulk here and try and get it back down that same end of the table. Easy 1 rail escape's gone here. You might be able to go off the side rail on the right though, but I mean that's not great in terms of trying to pot the ball. If you're trying to pot the ball, you can't really do it that way. Alternatively, 1 rail past the yellow on the left hand side of the table if he puts a heap of left on it. That can be done. In fact, I think that's about his only real shot here. Unless he's got something else in his locker. Don't go in there. It's well played. Took some guts to play actually, because there was always the chance he'd go in off, but he's done well. Simon's still it's not quite there for the finish yet, you would think. He's going to have to continue to be patient. He did go for that, but he knew that it was a shot to nothing, so it's okay. Little pocket he's looking at. Catches about half a ball here. He could be on for that shot. Oh, wait for it. Ooh! That was so close. So close. You could just about taste an extra frame coming his way. We're going to see another patented Simon Singleton run out. Usually it's bread and butter, this. Ball's a funny game, but is it that funny? It's probably not where he wants the cue ball though, and you can see him shake his head. He's just overshot his position. Wanted to be on the yellow he's closest to now, but he's kind of halfway in between those 3. So he's going to have to take a tough cut here, or alternatively another snooker. He's looking at that 4th yellow, quite possibly for a snooker. done that. So, and well played. Probably kick himself that he's not still at the table, but pretty good chance he will get another shot here, unless Des can go one better than he did last time he tried to get out of a snooker. No, nowhere near it this time. All there for Simon now. You've just got to peel them off. There's one of them. Watch that yellow on the left. Doesn't want to land middle of the table on it. Well, he's gone too far. Dear oh dear. You could see him try to put a bit of left on it to check it off the rail, but didn't really check at all, did it? Ended up wrecking itself instead. See, little mistakes. Little mistakes. Wonder if one of them's going to come back and bite him. It all looks so simple, doesn't it? But when it still teeters on a knife edge, so is he going to go for the cut or the double? Does the double? Yeah, got it. Should be on this. Should be on this. Certainly looks like it'll go from here. Yes. Ooh, this is a bit of a hear 'em scare 'em black. Done well to get to this point though from where he was, so this to get into the final. Oh, you bet your sweet patootie you did. 7-2, Simon Singleton is your first finalist over Des Wilcox. Still have another semi-final being played at the moment. That's Adam Lilly currently leading Adam Shaw 6-4. Luca Brassel is that is an amazing comeback. I see where you were going with that too, Grant. Unfortunately, Desi couldn't quite do it, but it just shows you that when everything looks horrible, you can still find a way to get back. Just left of centre on your screen there is the other remaining semi-final. For the moment, I shall muster away to use the facilities. At the completion of this match, we will have the final.
And we're not cutting the stream.
This stream will stay on as well, so we won't cut the stream. We will continue it all the way through, so you guys don't have to rejoin. Catch up very soon.
microphone now.
Right, so just to show you what's happening at the moment, still waiting for the final to begin. Adam Lilly versus Simon Singleton. How many times have these two players met in a semi or a final over the last 4 years? The last 4 or 5 years. These guys have seen more semis than pretty much any other pair of players, especially from the South Island. So once again the push for bragging rights is on. Do have a very, very friendly rivalry, one may call it, between these two men. If you were to ask Simon, perhaps up until that last game against Des, and where he was admittedly helped a little bit by Des's inability to finish off frames, because watching that match you couldn't help but think that the score of 7-2 could have been the other way around had Des been better with the taking of those chances that he created for himself, because he had the upper hand in so many of those frames, and for reasons only known to him, he was really unable to do much with it. He just kind of came unstuck towards the end. Oh, most definitely. If there's a stat to be had, Alex will have it, or he'll find it out. Simon getting this way through, beating Des Wilcox in the semi, as you saw, 7 frames to 2. Adam Lilly beat Adam Shaw 7-4 to meet him here. In fact, if you click on these now, I can actually go over them. In fact, let's take it all the way back to the start for both of these guys, so you know where they've come from to be in the final. Winner round 1, Adam Lilly will go first with him. 7-1 over Shane Brecken. And then into winner round 2, he beat Riley O'Donnell 7 frames to 3. And then winner's qualification, he actually went down 7-0 to Steve Denton. I mean, Adam obviously did not have his game then, and Stephen was on fire, but the good thing about the winner's qualification is that you do have another life at that point, and Adam then having to work his way back into the the quarter via the losers side now, beat Tony Rousel 6 frames to 2, and then in the quarter final was victorious 7-4 over Shaden McKenzie. That game was streamed, and 7-4 over Adam Shaw in the semi to make it to the final. And now Simon Singleton, who is his opponent. The winners round 1 was victorious 7-1 over Sam Hopkinson, and in winners round 2 he beat Macaulay Marchant 7-4 in a game that he admitted that he was struggling in, but somehow found it in him to get over the line. And then winner's qualification, beating Adam Shaw 7 frames to 2. And from there all the way to the quarter final, where he was 7-5 victorious over Carl van Beek. And that was the game that a lot of people were sensing there might be an upset on the cards, but wasn't to be. And then 7-2 over Des Wilcox in the semi-final you just watched. Semi-finals in the Pockets Women's Series set to start in about 10 minutes as well, as obviously this very match, which is just about to come into being, as you see tournament controller Mike Hayes brushing the table before we get play underway. I want to say a massive thank you to Mike for everything that he has done for this particular tournament, not only just organising it or having a big hand in organising it, but also as a player too. You forget that he actually played in this thing as well, and it's very difficult to play and organise at the same time, even if you're not the sole organiser. That's a big load to carry. And also like to thank Tammy Adams as well for helping Mike with organisation, and also for what she did this morning with Q score and ensuring that everything was played to the standard that it needed to be played at. Then of course you've got on cue, just while I'm shouting people out, for not only the stream but for the lovely tables that we're playing on. And Daryl at on cue, much appreciation to you for everything you've been doing for the sport here. Also this very venue, the Richmond Club, or rather the Richmond Working Men's Club in MSA. It's been around for yonks now, but only recently rebuilt, as I mentioned a few times before. The venue first came into existence in 1888, and if it wasn't the oldest working men's club in New Zealand, it was certainly one of the oldest. So after the 2011 earthquake, the building was renovated, and this renovated building is the one that we are playing in now. So here we go, 30th of April 2023. Let's have ourselves a final. Lag to break. Simon on closest to us. Adam further away. Simon wins the lag. And we will be using the shark rack by the look of it. I don't believe the players used the shark rack in the semi-final, and Simon's break not being as successful as he would like it in that semi-final. Perhaps that's why he has now decided to switch to using the shark rack.
I'm pretty sure he's been using it all day.
Oh, apologies, he's been using it all day. Apparently I'm both blind and stupid. Oh well. Let's get the crack packing. Or shall I say the pack cracking? Immediately success on the break. And Simon didn't have a lot of that in his semi-final, but obviously he had success in several other areas, so if he can piece that break together as well as being able to play the way he did do, then Adam's going to have his absolute hands full here. Adam very, very capable of knocking Simon off. He's one of the few players who can say he's had recent success over the postman. See if he can make lightning strike twice over the man looking to deliver the Sunday goods. Yeah, using the extension so that he could reach that ball. Using a graphite 9-ball cue as Simon, it's becoming more and more prevalent actually to see 9-ball cues used on these 7-foot tables, whether it be reds and yellows or whether it is in the C and Z setting. You do see quite a few players using 9-ball cues. Simon did have an 8-ball / snooker cue, But because he did a lot of code hopping between this and 9-ball, he decided it would be better off for him to just have one queue so he didn't have to keep switching. So the 9-ball queue is the one he chose to use. And as you can see, and as you have seen, it's been working very well for him. Top through that to avoid getting stuck behind the yellow that he's near now. If you can find a way behind the yellow leftmost of screen, then he should be able to go around behind it and be nicely on the last red. Just like this. And this now opens up the opportunity for him to put this in the corner pocket rather than the middle, because the corner pocket gives him a good angle for position. It's a harder shot, but the position is a lot easier, and it certainly beats having to run around rails, which he might have to do if he goes for the middle. It could be might go 2 rails. But no, it is the corner pocket, and he's played it very well. This to ice the cake, so 1-0 in the flash of Simon Singleton. So Adam will now get his opportunity to break and clear, and what a start that would be if you both players break and clear for 1 each. Let's see if we can see that. Janet Scanlon, good to have you on. I believe tuning in from the UK to watch her boy play. It's really good to have this wide angle so we can see the track of the balls up and down the table. That break is dry. So immediately Simon back into his work here. Yellow over the pocket's a possibility here. It's much of a muchness as to which is the better set. Both balls have a few balls of that set which are difficult. I'd say probably reds slightly less so than yellows, just looking at it from here. Obviously you've got that red on the rail at the bottom of your screen which will need attending to if reds are the set. So we do have reds first for Simon, and also it's the red next to the yellow in the middle of the table. That's going to be the other one that could cause problems, because that's only accessible, I believe, from... Oh, he just tried to make a liar out of me. Okay. I thought that was only accessible from the other side of the table. Simon tried to pot it there and then and failed. Must also say, as I sip on my drink, a big thank you to all the bar staff and the kitchen staff and the restaurant staff for keeping us all fed and watered during this weekend. It's much appreciated, and the service is always great here. Oh, Adam. Oh, Adam. He's trying to work it past the red, but wound up going straight into it, so this does appear to go past the yellow here. Oh, he went all the way around it. Was looking for the extraction, but found nothing but cushion. I thought alcohol was life over on the west coast, you guys. I'm just trying to follow the conversation that's going on here between Terry and Kev, just briefly. Coasters certainly are a different breed, I'll give you that much. Ladies Pocket Series, Ramona Belmont, living on Aussie now but is a Kiwi. You see the plant there from Simon. She is up against Geordie Rose at the moment. Currently no score, first frame. So tune into Pockets if you have that subscription, or preferably for me and the rest of the team here at OnQ, stay here and watch this, but if you can multi-screen then do so. But remember always to multi-screen responsibly. I'm going to try and pull this back into the rail here for position on the black. Oh, that from where he was is a great shot. Never mind the angle that he finds for the black. He's got a shot. This for 2-0. And no, it's gone wide. Adam Lilly, it's your time to shine, son. Seven yellows and a black between you and your first frame. Looking at the one into the middle pocket past the black. Don't think you really want to move the black though. And he doesn't, so everything's still there for him. Didn't need to worry about the black. It's still very much attached to that pocket. The thing is now with this yellow, he doesn't want to move the one over the hole, which he's managed to avoid doing that. Now to get himself out and away from that sort of quarter of the table. Now he's more out into the open where he's got a few more fish that he can catch. Oh, near the rail. I'm not sure he really wanted it there. The fact that he raised his hand up and then flung it down tells me that's not what he was playing for. Well cued. That's well cued and an excellent result. Not easy off the rails. This is nice and straight enough that you can kind of just stun this in. Keep the cue ball somewhere near there. But the angle was too much. Has he gotten away with one? Is it on off the black, or is it on off the jaw and then off the black? I think one of those shots may very well be on here. If he can find a good piece of jaw, then he can wick it in off the black. Yeah, just like that. Great shot. So now, this for one each. Yes! With a flourish. So Adam Lilly, one frame apiece now. And Simon Singleton breaking and clearing the first frame, and the second frame not as much so, but Adam managing to claim that. So we've got a share of the spoils early on. Just while on the shark rack, if Stefan Appleton is watching, I'd like to say another thank you to him for just showing me exactly how the rack works. go on about how good the shark rack is, but when you don't set it up correctly, it can be a problem. Steph made sure that I was using the rack correctly after having done so incorrectly. Go down something. Come on, call for pockets. That's not far off the truth, Kev. Certainly used to drink a lot more than I do now. Only a social drinker these days. Oh dear, Adam. Ball to get onto a set. And now that honour will swing to Simon. Got the one red down the rail if he wants it. Alternatively, he can come back. Check the pocket there with that side to come back for it. Middle pockets always look bigger from the side like that. But if you can use the whole pocket and use the correct spin on the cue ball, then you can manipulate angles like that straight back if you've got a ball near the rail. Oh, and this time he can't make it down the rail. It's a thing that he's been so good at all day, but this time he's just a wee bit away. Gonna have to dial long distance here, does Adam, I believe. No, he's gonna try and snooker behind the yellows at that end of the table. Good choice of shot, but we'll see where it gets him. I think Simon can see a couple of these reds, but importantly not the reds that he can pot. Oh, we could see through the gap. Okay. Colour me amazed. I didn't think there was a gap there big enough. Chips us in nicely and just stopped in enough time to allow him a choice of the two reds here, taking the one beneath the black spot. Ooh, that was close. That had a look. Wiped its feet, decided to walk in. And he's too far underneath this red now. The one he's next to, he didn't want to be so close or underneath it. So he can still pot it. The ball is still on. It's just going to be a lot harder to pot and control the cue ball. You see all the shots that he's looking at there. It's not this shot. It's what he wants to do in the future. There is no future though. He didn't make the first ball. And you see he walks away, absolutely furious with himself. Not so much for missing that pot, but just for being in that position to begin with. Upshot of this. Oh, God, get in, come on. Really? Take the goalkeeper out next time. So by the look of it, Ramona Belmont is 1-0 up over Geordie Rose in the Pockets Women's Series. This is headed for Splitsville. The red further away from the camera here. That's the one that's on, and he's going to get a mitt full of the black too. Oh, in the middle. Couldn't get past the yellow though. The yellow stopped him. Oh, look at all the yellows. They're on beautifully for Adam. This time he's off and away. So often the hardest step to take in the clearance is the first ball, because you're having to psych yourself up ever so slightly for the first one. The rest of them kind of just follow on from that. It's a bit like doing deadlifts if you do a bit of weightlifting. The first lift when the bar is on the ground is the hardest, because you're essentially lifting from scratch. You've got no momentum or no stability in your body to begin with. You're having to make it all yourself. But then once you've got that first one up and away, then your body kind of takes over and the rest are a bit easier. I think he'll go bottom of your screen first here, but he's going to make me look silly. Okay, fair enough. That's why you're there and I'm here. Oh, don't get too involved. That's alright. Get your hands off that red. Don't know where it's been. Oh, that's not going to reach. Mate. He's trying to hold the cue ball there because he was just off angle. Next time I think if he gets that shot he's going to take a couple of rails. At least he's not going to play it softly like that, I can tell you that much. Meek frame surrender by the look of it. Boo, cue ball. That's alright. Switch to the other one. Shouldn't be any problem with this, just make sure of it. Yes indeed, so big error from Adam in that frame, and Simon piling into through the open door. So 2-1 Simon Singleton now. Adam best get that mishap out of his head quick, smart. Because if it's one thing that he's had to learn the hard way, it's that bad stuff does happen, but you've just got to find a way to get over it, and very quickly. You've got a job to do, and being annoyed at what might have been just acts as a roadblock to that. Oh dear. Cue more anger. Ball in hand behind the headstring, or the bulk line if you want to call it that. Absolute no-no, isn't it? In these rules, even more so in black ball rules, but in these rules, when you've got players as good as these and you're going off, or even worse, you fly the white off the table, it's just asking for it. Still pretty much on the rail here as Simon, but this isn't a difficult shot. Just needs to make sure he pots it. Yeah, it's all good. Could take the red next to the black if he wants to. The question is, which ball is he going to use for the black? The red next to the black is not a bad ball for the black. Alternatively, you've got the red over the other middle pocket, which could be used. It's just in a wee bit of a conundrum here. Keep the angle. Wants to watch that he doesn't run into the yellows here. If he takes the red at the bottom of the screen, he runs into the yellows, he could run very much into trouble. He's okay. Use the space that he'd given himself. Could come off the top rail on your screen here and back towards the black. Alternatively, he could try for the stun screw in between the yellows in the middle of the table. This is the more natural option though. So this for a 3-1 lead, and this will do a fair bit to calm him down as well, because you know his heart's beating a bit faster than 50 beats per minute at this point. Rails. Oh, it meandered out. I swear to you, blind, as I'm sitting here, that meandered away from the rail. Dear, oh dear. Pretty much do or die this for Adam, at least in the context of this frame. Yes, you've got snooker prospects, but the fact remaining is unless you get a really good snooker, the black being right over the hole is just too easy. He's going to try and go around behind this yellow, is he? Just like that. That's a great shot. That was the big one. If he gets that wrong, he's in trouble, but get it right. Got a good continuation going. Get this, get somewhere towards the middle of the table. Yeah, no, nice. Maybe wanted to go a wee bit further down, but got lots of options here. No place to worry. Round behind the yellow for the one in bulk is, one would say, an interesting choice, but he's actually cued that quite well, because you get tied up with that yellow and your cue ball could go anywhere. So achieved good position there. That maybe not as much, but if there's a big enough angle on this, he can come off the bottom rail on your screen here and then back up towards that last yellow. Which he has done, and done very well. So now just this and the black to go. Good slot your long one. Usually almost bulletproof on those, so 2 frames apiece. Can you dig it? And Ramona Belmont certainly can. 2-0 ahead at the moment, as Grant Loveridge has just said, in the Women's Pockets Pro Series against Geordie Rose.
Geordie knocked Jojo out. Didn't she play Jojo?
Yes, I think so. I think Geordie actually knocked out Jojo in the round previous to this, so Ramona looking to avenge a fallen Kiwi teammate. Pushing towards those 200 viewers, folks. Get your friends and your family joined in. We're on to a good thing here.
doing on a Sunday night, John?
Exactly. Home with my wife and my cat. Weekends are full of pole at the moment. A lot of them are. Simon, am I counting 6 reds? If I'm counting 6 reds, he's successful.
Can't see that.
Trying to remove the shark rack, and he has done so. And indeed 6 reds, so we have a successful break. Wow. Never in 1,000 shots would you credit it.
You can actually see Jojo in the back of the picture.
That's just how rare those are. They're like hen's teeth. Players miss shots like those in a final.
Look, we dropped. You mentioned it and we dropped.
Maybe they're watching that. So Adam onto the reds. The one in the pile there, you can see the one that's stuck. I think that red goes into the bottom right corner pocket. So it's just a question of getting on it, and he may have a chance right now. Play the plant, try to get down for that red. It's got to get up. It's got to get up. Hasn't quite got there. Does have a cut on the red bottom right of the screen though, so maybe that could even free that red up. Of course, you've got a lot of yellows around it, so you've got to be very precise if you're doing that. Oh, is the plant still there? I'd say yes. Plant's still there. He's really going to have to follow this through though, because he's going to run straight into the yellow if he plays the plant, and if he doesn't cue it through enough, he's going to end up snookered behind the black. Oh, is he okay? I think he is. I think he can just see that red that he used for the plant. Maybe a touch, you'd say maybe a touch of luck if he is on that, but so often those go against you, so swings and roundabouts. Oh, great pot. What a great response though. Not where he wanted to be, but still on for the shot, and a great pot to boot. Now, is that black on in the middle pocket on the left? Can't really see from here. Just going to flip views for a moment. Certainly a bit of distance between it and the yellow. So that's pretty much right where he wants to be if that ball is on.
That's yummy.
So definitely with a bit of lift this ball will go. He's going to ask Mike Hayes to be a referee for this shot here. Missed it. It's a fair shot, but he missed it. Just couldn't put enough left on it. Sometimes when you cue it with side like that, the ball, if you don't quite cue it right, the ball will actually track off towards, or what would be the yellow in that case. So, Adam was looking to make sure that didn't happen, but he just didn't put enough on it. Get a snooker. Get a worse snooker. Yuck. He's a bit lucky to get that secondary cover. Just trying to count the rails here. 1, 2, 3, 3 rails maybe, with, I'm guessing, a little bit of inside English, just to try and straighten it up slightly, because, I mean, I'm no expert, but if he cues us normally, I reckon he'll miss wide. Oh, he's going to go 2 rails the cocked hat way. Oh, unlucky. Going for the markers double out. He just about got it too. Touching ball's not helpful. Touching ball's not helpful. So he's very much in between China and Japan here with this. If any of you get that, I hope you do. Yeah, got the first one. Go some way towards sorting this yellow mess out. Good promotion there. It sort of makes the run out a lot easier if you get rid of that hard ball early in your run. So play this for the yellow next to the black spot, I'd say. Indeed. He's got a choice though. He can play that one or the one to the left of that. He's also got the one into the top middle pocket that you can see. And that allows him a shot at the yellow further down table. If he wishes to take that now, many people will say that's a good ball for the black, but at the moment it's also a good ball for position for your other 2 yellows. And take that as opposed to having to go back and forth down the and up the table. Slightly less straight than he'd want to be here, but a pot and good control will get him back on track. And this he has managed. Screw it back if he can. If he can screw it back and avoid the in-off in the middle pocket, then that's what he'll do. Which he can. He's hit it well. So this now to claim the lead back. Simon Singleton 3-2 up over Adam Lilly. So Adam setting these up to break. Yellows.
Yes, she's sunk a yellow.
Spot the plant. So just watching the Women's Pro Series while this is going on. Ramona Belmont still 2-0 up over Geordie Rose, but 2 balls away from making it 3-0. That's not ideal on the black though, if you're looking at that. It's overshotted position by some distance. The players just taking a quick break. We've hit 200 viewers, folks. Well done to each and every one of you. Now let's see if we can get 200 more. Get there. Just left the black over the pocket, did Ramona. That was a very close double. And Geordie's got 2 reds and a black to go to get her first frame. This, however, is where the action is really at. Fantastic break there from Adam, but has that yellow blocked him off towards the easiest one to pot? And is that red in the way of the yellow to the bottom left? just the way he's looking around, that tells me that it's not on, and that he's having to find somewhere else to get his first ball from. This does cut though, you see the one he's playing? Oh, he got it shot. Massive first ball, that. Good break, and you don't really leave yourself much on. It just feels like so much of a weight lifted if you can get that hard first one. Yeah, it is, Jordan, but I mean, that's what I live for. I love doing this, I love playing. It ain't no thing. No doubt you'll be pleased as punch to see one of your stickmen in the final here, even if we are playing a different code. It's going to take the yellow on the left here first. Now, I imagine he'll be trying to put the second yellow in the corner pocket, but no, he's going to put it in the middle. I only say that because of the fact that he could have gotten straight on it and then been easier for pos, but he's okay with this. Managed to get it on up here, well played. Used the natural angle well there with a touch of left hand side. 3-all. Adam Lilly thundering back. Break and clear. Tough ball to start with. Overcame that. Managed to make the rest of them look relatively simple in comparison. Good on you, Geordie. I know how much you used to love playing this. You were actually one of the people who helped get this game really popularised in Christchurch when you came back from Aussie. Yeah, 3 each. So we owe a bit to you for this game, to really grow this game, because you've been playing in Australia, playing what was the two-shot rules in Aussie at the time. You were able to help us, the rest of us, actually understand them. Did he get a ball off the break? No, he did not. So, massive swing, but no ding once again. Simon will be getting really, really sick of this. Almost all the other points to his game are working reasonably well, but it's just still the break eludes him. He tried a couple of different breaks in his games today, and he hasn't been able to settle on one that's actually worked. It is indeed, John. Good to... Ooh, that wobbled. Ooh, wobbled, and that's ugly. Does that... See the black and the yellow there? Yeah. Might be touching ball. If he's touching ball, he has to play away from this yellow in any event. Just that yellow and the black in the middle of the table. I just wondered whether there might be a plant on there. Then again, he's got to get to it. I'm not sure he can. Women's Pockets Pro Series, Ramona Belmont leads Geordie Rose 2-1. Trying to pot the yellow at the bottom of his screen there. Not entirely sure whether he was touching ball on the other one. Yeah, I kind of did. Sorry about that, John. I do have a knack for doing it at the most inopportune times.
Luckily we're far enough away from the table, John. some corners were right here.
I think the only red he's got on here is the one below the black spot. So we'll take this one here and then try to use his connections to get a good shot on one of these other reds that are on the same half of the table. Good, lovely mittful of the yellow to stop dead on for this red. And so much of that is just knowing which side to cue with those shots, or whether to hit it top bottom just to get the cue ball to move so it hits the full ball. And you see the players having a look at cannons and extractions and so on, and so much of those being successful is where you hit the ball you're looking to move. Because if you're trying to run into another ball to move it away or to kill it for the cue ball, if you don't hit it in the right place, then chances are you're going to end up ugly, or at least suboptimal. So Simon very, very good, as we've seen numerous times, at being able to know exactly where to hit so that he gets the best possible result. So many of the best players in the Pockets Pro Series and the Ultimate Pool Series practice a lot of those. Just like ball combinations to see where they need to play. So black's on here for the right bottom pocket, so this will just be a wee screw. Just enough to leave that as straight as he wants. And this to reclaim the lead once again. She's been a topsy-turvy sort of game. Ding, dong. Simon goes ding there and goes 4-3 ahead. Seven minutes to go in the match between Ramona Belmont and Geordie Rose in the Women's Pockets Pro Series, and currently Ramona still leads 2-1. If you do play any of these when they are timed, you'd have to believe that the clock actually holds real significance in terms of the shot that you're going to play next, or even the way you're going to play, whether you play for snookers or you play tactical pool, or whether you go for it. And that break for Adam, much like Simon's, has gone dry. So at the moment neither player are able to find a consistent ball off the break, so the break is really gets taken out of it when you do that. So now it is Simon to approach the table first. Adam had the opportunity in the previous frame and he squandered it, so Simon now looking to do what Adam could not and take the frame off the opposite player's break. Those are like winning the set against your serve in tennis. Very, very valuable. Lily Bean, I like that. Couldn't get the promotion he wanted on that red. Still got some room to move. Possibly a plant if the middle of the three reds that are kind of in an L shape there. If he can play that onto the red closest to the pocket, he may get a plant. Whether or not that shot is on or even good is another thing to be seen. He has gone for it. He's got a reasonable slice off it. Now, the red that's now closest to the black, if he can get straightish on it, then he can use it to extract the red that's near the rail. Obviously not for now, but it might be in the back of his mind for later. Of course, how he gets there is going to be quite tricky with the traffic in the way. And he's just looking to tie the pocket up there, or at least tie that quadrant of the table up. It's a pretty cut and thrust sort of frame by the look of it, so... And when you've got a slender lead as well, you want everything to be earned by the other player. No, I'm not going to give it to him, he's got to earn it. He's trying to stick this over the bin and didn't. 3-1 by the way as well between Ramona Belmont and Geordie Rose, so with about 5 minutes to go, Ramona has a near unassailable lead. So I'm just having a look at what Simon's got now. We've on reds and a double here. Oh no. Oh no. I think he might have just gifted the advantage there to Adam. If he'd managed to stick a red over that bin, it's advantage Simon, but... one good shot here from Adam. It could very well put all the lights out. Off the rail. Didn't get the yellow far enough away from the reds, or enough that he would like. He's got a few on though. One to the middle. Leaves himself open if he gets that for a double on the yellow that is stuck. But for now, it's up table. Where's this going to finish? Jeez, that smacked of desperation, didn't it? Didn't get what he wanted. He's trying to make a shot rather than play a shot, and this could very well come back to burn. And plant first. Want to get on. Oh, he was helped by the spot. Did you see that? You see the ball roll over the black spot? Had it not done that, he might have ended up behind the black. He might be just taking an opportunity now to praise a bit of luck maybe, or even possibly to curse, because he could have been nice and straight on that red had the unevenness of the table not intervened. Chance the second. That's pretty good. Touch awkward to cue, and he may have to use the high rest. If he can reach it, he will. Also needs to watch his cueing. He needs to watch his bridge. He needs to watch his cueing. Gonna get this flamingo stance out here. What's he going to do here? He's actually taken his extension off. He needs to watch the light fixture. Oh, well hit. Didn't get quite the position on the black, but for now it's good. This will get him to within 2 of a win. Yes, well done, Simon Singleton. 5-3 ahead of Adam Lilly now. Adam will have an awful lot of support in this building, and he's going to need it. It was 3-all. Now it's 5-3, and he's the man with the 3, so have to hope now that Simon's break is just the way it has been for most of the day, which is unpredictable in terms of balls off the break. Hasn't managed to get that many of them, whether this game or earlier on today. Now would be a fine time for change if you're Simon, though. So 3-1, Ramona Belmont has won over Geordie Rose, so she will be all the way through to, I believe, the final of the Women's Pro Series. Jesus, would you believe it? He's broken dry again. You would not credit this. Forget for a moment what you've actually seen in general play. How many times have we seen a dry break in this match? From two players who generally have very good breaks. It's unreal. Oh, he hasn't uglied it up again, has he? Oh, he's had a knack for that in this game. Just getting slightly ugly on his first shot. I think he's done it again, you know. There's a plant on here, but that's not the way he'd like to play this. Oh, shot. Woo, cue ball. Yeah, great shot. So he gets himself back onto the course that he was wanting to be on. Only one yellow that he can play, but thankfully it is a good one. Oh, come on now. Gee, he did the good work, didn't he? But once again, he's unable to make it stick. Very much shades of Des Wilcox coming into this now. Very similar that was. Des Wilcox had so often would get himself into great situations and then come unstuck. That was more towards the end of his frames though, against Simon in the semi. Adam's biggest problem is at the start of the frame when he's just established a set and has then found it difficult to kick on from there. Yellow that's closest to the cue ball now doesn't pass the black into the middle pocket. Don't know if it goes into the corner either on this angle. He's fairly quickly onto it though, so I reckon it does. Yep, question asked and answered. Well potted. Now can he overcome those early jitters? Pot shouldn't be the hard part, it's just the position. Oh, that's worked out beautifully. Not sure whether he intended everything to happen that did happen, but you don't ask, you don't get. 10 minutes to go until the women's grand final as well for pockets. So now let's see if Adam can make lightning strike. Tough yellow top left of your screen. Still got that tough yellow. Some people want to play that now. The angle is there. If you can really top throw it, but there's just so much traffic in the middle of the table. And either way you go, hell of a lot to do. That's not ideal. Wanted to be on for that second ball in the middle pocket, but he's scuffed it. Don't know whether the ball near the bulk rail goes either, so could very well be plant or bust here. Just wonder whether if you can come up with a pot here. I think that ball is on. To come up with a pot here and re-establish. Well done. So out near the black spot, so aim for the ball in the same pocket. Just a screw back of sorts, or screw into the rail, and couldn't have asked for a better cue ball placement, and that is as easy as they come. So Simon Singleton jumps onto the hill, 6-3 ahead of Adam Lilly. One thing that is important too to note in this game, the difference between the two players, and there isn't really any difference between these two guys. They're both pretty much right up there in terms of skill. But when each player has gotten themselves into a positional situation that they don't want to be in, so i.e. Simon in that last frame, and then Adam earlier on in the frame, Simon has been the much better player at being able to make the shot that he needs to make to get himself back onto the right path. He's been able to recalibrate a lot better than Adam has, and you feel that Adam's he's kind of grasped his cue a little bit tighter when that occasion has happened, and often you just need to calm yourself down, take the shot that you know is on, and make sure you commit to that shot. Don't overplay it. Generally, it is something that you've come across in general, and you don't need to really do a hell of a lot to it to actually get it to work, but the situation is so much different for every player. So Adam to break, 10th frame. Oh, come on, he needs a ball to go. He needs a ball to go. Oh, he couldn't get one. Look out, look out. Postman's coming. Which sets he's going to choose? I would say the yellows from here. Makes the first ball. It did go in the side door, but into the pocket it went. Just looking at when he decides to take this yellow at the bottom of the screen. I would say not right now. Possibly take the one into the middle left first. He has gone back around to that yellow at the bottom of your screen. I just wonder whether he might be in two minds, or whether he's looking for position off that yellow. And once again, uglying the ball up of his oppositions, using the fact that the ball was over the hole instead of potting the yellow straight, knocking the red down the rail in case this does go awry. So in behind the bunch of them now, I wonder if any of these yellows actually does go. So you've got two yellows there that are close to the cue ball. If either one of those goes, he's okay. But if not, he might have just gotten himself into a slight tangle, because it's the one towards the bottom of your screen. That's the one that's definitely on. If he stopped short of where he did. The fact that he's not shooting immediately tells me that it's a bit tougher than it looks. Oh, can he see the one on the bottom? I don't think he can. I reckon he might be just stuck behind that second yellow. Plant's very much on, but it's a difficult shot, this. Oh, it just hangs there. He did at least get the pocket though, so that's one thing. Now Adam with a lot of work to do. The snookers are pretty much off the table here as well, with balls at opposite ends of the table, so this is going to have to be an all-nothing approach, I reckon. He's got a good angle here to extricate that red that's blocked by the yellow. Well, he doesn't even really need to extricate it, he just needs to get on it. And this angle allows him to get down the other end of the table, or even if it's fine enough, he can cut this in and maybe promote that red on the right hand side of your screen. Oh, well played. He's actually deaded it, so he's still on it. And those two reds in bulk, it's the one closest to the bulk line. That's the one he's playing for in terms of position. Because then that will follow through for the red on the left-hand side of the screen. If he's a touch too straight here, he does have the second of those two reds, although that's not the way you want to go about this. He won't want to play the one down the rail last, because that's the toughest ball to get onto the black from, as well as the toughest ball to pot. Slight forcing of the angle here, but he's done a very good job. He's controlled it. He hasn't gotten too far into the middle of the table. This is still very much within hand here. Cross for the same pocket. Go down, you mongrel. Mate. Stuck on the chewing gum again. So final between the Colby Poole and Ramona Belmont, just about to begin. Women's Pockets Pro Series. For the moment though, Simon Singleton looking to mop this up and claim another South Islands title. Most recently won it in 2021 down at Bowie's in Dunedin. And Wazana, oh, he's going to go behind this, is he? He's going to go behind it. Oh dear. About to say 2022, he actually had to withdraw from his semi-final in that tournament because he tested positive for COVID, and at that time it required him to leave the venue and go into isolation. So that was incredibly unlucky on his part, but he was very philosophical about it. How about this for a shot to get on the black? Absolutely needs this. Does he have it? No, he doesn't. Adam, here's your chance. Here's Adam's chance. Watch your speed. See, the way he played it was pretty damn good. He played it as a drag shot, you might notice, to kill the speed of the cue ball as it ran across the cloth. Two options for pockets for the black. Corner or middle. Woo. Oh, he's in between pockets. Too soft one way, too hard the other. No, he didn't super tech. That was Neil Wally, who beat this very man here, Adam Lilly, in the final. Double. Double. Yes! Way to stay alive. 6-4 now to Simon, but what a massive shot that was. Boy, oh boy, did he need that. Might the big comeback be on again? Everybody remembers what happened in 2021. Adam Lilly versus Des Wilcox in the Great Southern Knockout. Des 14-5 ahead in a race to 15, and Adam got it all the way back to 14-13 before succumbing 15-13. Big comebacks very much on. And yes, this time the break is successful from Simon. Andy Kelty's a Adam Lilly fan. Good to have all of you on for this. 228 viewers at the moment, so pushing up there quite nicely. I will warrant if every frame that Adam wins, I would say that number will go up. Not wanting to play favourites here, but I know what a lot of people would like. Yellows look to be the set to go for here. Again, it's much of a muchness, and there's enough yellows that are nasty to make you want to go reds, but there's a dearth of reds that are actually on that kind of push you in towards yellows. So I don't think that Simon's really got a viable choice here. It's kind of yellows or bust. Hey Steph, are you watching? Sorry about that. Stefan Appleton ringing to say thank you for the kind words. Oh, mate. What a time to come back on. Yeah, a bit of a weird time for someone to call me, but anyway. Shot. Yeah, you could see enough of that yellow for the shot. Loses his turn, but look at the situation now for Simon. This is not an easy snooker to get out of, and looks like he's going to try and go two rails here. Left rail, right rail, and then in behind the red. See, just on that angle there, if he can match that angle, then he's a chance to pot this. See, it's not enough just to get out of the snooker, but players at this level look to get out of the snooker and pot the ball. You always got to be wanting more. Oh, he's gone between the two reds. You would think you'd hit one of them. So ball in hand to Adam here, so this is the hardest yellow of the lot, which is why he's taking it first. Plays this, he could play the yellow next to the black next, which is the way he's done, or the way he's gone. It does appear that the black will pass into the corner pocket he's playing the yellow into. Good spin on the cue ball there. Great action. You could see with the dots on the cue ball shows you the spin that the players put on it for the TV cameras. Sure as it was safe as a church on that shot. How's he going to manoeuvre these around so that he's on the black? I reckon that ball on the right will be last. That's my prediction. Ball on the right last because it's a natural open angle for the black. It could potentially go either way here. If he puts the cue ball roughly where it is now for the yellow in the middle of the table, then he can achieve much the same result. Just go a different way about it. Roughly the same place again. Here we go, that's good. Same sort of line. Don't think the black goes past the red into the right corner pocket, but I think it's the left one that's on. Very much there. If he's down to this point, must be on in there. And yes, he does. Cleans it up. So Adam Lilly's coming back. Look out. 6-5 now. 6-3 at one point. But has won the next 2 frames. And now only 1 frame behind. And you wonder how much more pressure Simon's feeling. Generally very good at dealing with pressure as Simon, but everybody has their limit. The more Adam's at the table, the closer to that limit we get. And what's more, Adam has the break in this frame. Go in something. Yes, finally. Finally, we've got something happening off the break. Nice, Richard / Gemma. Yellows, it's not really a question, is it? Sitting quite nicely at the moment. And plus you've got 2 near the black as well, which it's quite good when you're looking to get on the black, and if you can leave one of those 2 balls for last. Don't really think he wanted that, but still got the 1 to the middle. Have to pull off a good pot quite early on in this. See if he's learned from previous. Slow rolled it, but that's a good roll. That's a great shot. Right when he needed it, he was able to come up with it. We screw back. He's got the second of those 2 yellows if he wants it. Out nicely for yellow near the black spot. So it will be the yellow bottom right that he'll take last. It's good to have one that's on the same sort of plane as the black, so this will require minimal effort on Adam's part. Just a wee screw and a pop off the rail, just as described. And this to get us to Hill, to really, really get us clenched. Yes, indeed, Adam Lilly. Well done, son. 6 frames apiece. We're Hill. If you're not excited, why are you even watching? So we started with 48 players. We're down to 2. Subsequently down to 1 frame for the one standing. And this time the break is successful from Simon. What a time to get a ball off the break. Imagine a break and clear to cap it off. At what price, especially for Simon, to finish this off with a plum. Break and clear to win yet another South Island title. Looks to be yellows first. Good bump that he got on that yellow too. That stopped it from going too far back down the table towards the camera. It just runs slowly into this red here and just bump it to try and step for the yellow on the right. I'm guessing that's the way he's going to play this. Needs to watch his pace though, and he also needs to watch where on that red he hits. There's your second option, is to not involve it at all. If you can dig into the ball like that, you can actually avoid the carom entirely. Now that's the yellow that is near the black spot. That's the one he keeps on looking at. Pretty much dead in line with it now. This could very well plant. If he goes quite full into this yellow that's over or near the pocket. If your mate's one of these two players, Meti Lurker, then you did right. The plant. One ball in the black. This is going to be a tricky black to get on too, so it's going to be a little bit of extra bum clench. Does he go to the left of it and take the rail for the black in the same pocket? That's one possibility, but that's fraught with risk. Dearth, by the way, Supertech, D-E-A-R-T-H means a lack of, or not having enough of. It's going to be the opposite corner. He's going to dial long distance for the win here. Is somebody willing to take his call at the other end? Now to compose himself for the big ball in the final. Crowd will tell you, oh, it's rolled off. I'll bet you a lot of money that that just faded away. Not entirely sure whether it would have gone in anyway, but Let's see what Adam's got here. Ugly cue ball though. That's the way that Simon played that was deliberately to leave an ugly cue ball if he missed it. Burmester 101, is that Sheridan? Is that you? Has to hit this really fine if he wants a snooker. I'll try to snooker behind these 3 yellows on the 3 reds on the left hand side of the table. Whoa, slow down, slow down. It's okay. It's okay. You can see him just willing that to stop. He's on a snooker. If you can cut the right edge of it, it's potable. Yeah, I'm doing well, Sheridan. I'm just as tense as everyone else. It's been a fantastic final. It's been a fantastic weekend of pool. I hope you guys do us proud in the North Island in 2 weeks. Oh, are you kidding, Andy? Really? Right now? Well, I hope the ad finishes before this shot's taken. Look.
We don't sit in the heads.
Oh, well played. Didn't play for the pot. He's made the black difficult. He's managed to avoid the in-off to boot, but obviously in that situation the glory's there and possible, but cooler head prevailed. Still got plenty of options for a snooker here if this doesn't quite go the way he wants it to. You want to get further off to the left hand side of the table here. Just over more there so that he's got the red in the middle. This is the middle one of the 3 on the left here. It should pop out naturally off the rail. And now one in the middle, or the one bottom left. Again, got a choice. I would say go red bottom left. The rest of the ball's trending towards that top right pocket. I want the cue ball to be roughly where this red is now. Where it is now. Now we'll get to see if Simon putting the yellow, the black on that back rail makes any difference at all. This is a possibility now for a promotion on the black. He's got the angle so that he can run into the black, and then come what may. Oh, he got the touch, but he didn't get the one he wanted. This still cuts, though. It still cuts. It cuts, it doubles. This is the one to go one better than last year. Adam Lilly, what have you got? Have you got the power? Still looking at the double. He's going to go for the double here. How about it? Oh, he missed it. Where's it going, though? Where's it going? Oh, what? What? That's why he took the double. That's exactly why he took the double. The chance that he'd leave the black ugly, but not the way he envisaged it. I love this between the two players as well. Balls are far enough away that this actually is on. He's got to play away from it slightly, but this will go into the top left corner pocket. It's whether he thins the edge of this. If he thins the edge of it, runs down table. Yeah, there you go. Thins it, runs down table, says, here you go, Adam, you deal with it. And Adam taps the table as to say, good shot. Now what? He's almost into this area that he's got to have a go for something. Oh, what's he... Jeez, where's his head? Double. Got to go length of the table. Don't think he dare try the cut, surely not. Safety? Still not sure. He's gotten down on it, had a couple of feathers and got back up. Did right, Grant.
Now for a better final.
Middle pocket. Not far away, but a great shot nevertheless. Now, Simon, what do you need to be doing here? Have you got a tricky pot down the rail? Or will you also go for a double of some sort? I reckon he'll go for the double here. Because there's a chance that if he doesn't get it in the corner pocket top left, that it will cocked head around into the middle pocket on the bottom. It's almost just wing it and let it fly. Oh, where's the touch? Ooh. Now the compose. Don't have to worry about the cue ball on this one. All that matters is that the black goes in the pocket. Oh, it's popped out and run down the rail. Would you credit it? Wow. Is that why he played it so hard? Was that nerves or because he knew that it could pop away from the hole like that? Is that ball ripped on the rail? If that ball's touching the rail, then that's really handy for Adam if so. Oh, how's your table? How's the table? Oh dear. He's half balled it. He was looking to grind it. This time, surely. Yes, this time. What a final. But Adam Lilly, your 2023 8-ball Super League South Island champion. Yeah, possibly is the kind of shot Simon should have played, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. But thank you to every single one of you who has joined, and all of the players here, the Richmond Club, OnQ Streaming, all of the tournament controllers. You have been amazing, and this caps another competition. North Island's in 2 weeks' time. That will be streamed, so I hear. So hopefully that is just as good as this has been. This has been amazing. So thank you all very, very much. But it is Adam Lilly's day today, and with that I shall leave you all. Hope you join us next time on OnQ Streaming. I've been John the Voice Saundercock, please be safe, get home safe, and hope to catch you all next time around.